Okay, good evening, everybody. I'd like to begin our Hall of Fame ceremony. My name is Manuel Pepis. I work in athletic communications here at the University of New Orleans. First of all, we greatly appreciate everyone for joining us tonight for this evening's induction on a very special night. We're thrilled to add the classes of 2024 and 2025, joining classes from 1988, 89, 90, 2009, 2022, and 2023. Hosting the annual Athletics Hall of Fame is a tremendous reminder of the excellence surrounding the University of New Orleans. Tonight, we honor that excellence with privateers known throughout their sports and reached the pinnacle of their respective sports. These privateers have made and continue to make an impact every day, and they honor the University of New Orleans with their presence tonight. At this time, we'd like to recognize all returning Hall of Fame inductees. These legends represented the University of New Orleans with class, dignity, and style, and epitomize the ideal for our current student athletes, coaches, and administration. So if I could ask any returning Hall of Fame members to stand currently and be recognized. And again, thank you to all of our Hall of Fame members and their representatives for joining us tonight as we induct 10 new individuals into the University of New Orleans Athletics Hall of Fame. And now, we can start the show for our inductions. For each of the members of the class of 2024 and 2025, I'll introduce them. After the introduction, each honoree will join Interim Athletic Director Vince Granito to be officially welcomed as a Privateer Hall of Famer. Our first Hall of Fame inductee from Privateer Baseball is Terry Kiefer. Terry had a historic 1974 season in helping the Privateers to a national runner-up finish. Kiefer became the first Privateer to win the Corbett Award, given annually to the best amateur athlete in the state of Louisiana. He won 15 games, which is tied for the most in program history for a single season, pitched to a 2.32 ERA, and co-owns the single-game record for strikeouts with 17. He threw 124 innings and was a workhorse, finishing 12 of the 17 games he pitched. Those 12 complete games ranked third in program history for a single season total and led him to be drafted in the first round in the June draft in 1974 by the St. Louis Cardinals. Please welcome New Orleans Athletics Hall of Famer, Terry Kiefer.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you.
Have a great day.
But you can take a picture.
Oh, you got it?
Okay. I'll hold that
Want
for
to give
you.
it to my wife? Yeah, I don't think I've ever been this nervous when I've pitched, but, but anyhow. Turn it on?
It's on.
Better? How's that? Better? Okay. Yeah, it might be my only applause tonight, too. But anyhow, thank you all for coming. It's nice to have everybody here for the homecoming week, and especially the introductions for the inductees into the Hall of Fame. A few thank yous before I get started, especially to the UNO committee that nominated us. I'm not quite sure how that works, but very appreciative, and it's just one of those days. And I want to particularly thank Coach Mace, because I know all this gets started with him. Will was here today, Bro was here today, Mike was here today. I'm sure there's a few more, but it's very appreciative. I'm grateful to my support of my family. My father, who's now upstairs looking down on us, and my mom, who's 94 and still kicking, would love to have been here tonight, but they were here in 75 when I won the Amateur Athlete Award, so that was quite particular also. I'm grateful for the support of my family. I said my amazing wife, Bonnie, and our kids. We've got Katie and her husband Josh and their daughter Olivia, Claire and her husband Scott and their 3 boys, Louis, George, and Calvin, and our son Matt is in from San Diego. And along with them, we've got my siblings who have been very supportive over the years of everything I've done. Joni's is second in line to me, and she's married to Mike. Jill's next, and she's married to Roger. And Todd is the baby in the family, and he's married to Paula. Yeah. You know, when I was growing up, actually, before that, when I was growing up, there was, my dad was usually gone, driver's ed, building a garage, building a kitchen, running the park and rec baseball program. So he wasn't around sometimes, so I'd have to ask one of my sisters to catch with me, play catch. And a lot of times it didn't end up real well. And I'd either hit them in the shins with a curveball, or I'd hit them in the shoulders, and you know, it cut it short, and they ended up in the house crying with Mom. But you know, it was very grateful. As a young boy in southern Minnesota, and I grew up on the banks of the Mississippi River, my favorite sport was baseball. And let's see if I can even see this. My dad was my baseball coach from my young years all the way through high school. He was a high school coach. And he taught me the different foundations of skills and how hard you need to play to be good. And I try to continue those as I'm coaching nowadays. But in 1973 and 74, those were my most exciting years as a baseball player. Even though it's been over 50 years, the memories are clear. Coach Doherty brought me in to his office in Indian Hills in Centerville, Iowa, to take a call from Coach Maestri, who offered me a scholarship at UNO. When I arrived in the fall of '73, the University of New Orleans was LSUNO. And at semester time, the college changed the name to UNO. Well, our new uniforms hadn't come in yet. So before each game, we'd take athletic tape and we'd put it over the LS. And then we'd take the tape off, get them washed, put it back on, and put the tape back on. We did that for a week or two. But we wanted everybody to know that we were UNO. And it was very important to us. I recall stopping in Coach's office every morning. It may only be a couple of minutes, or it may be a half an hour. And we'd talk baseball, or we'd talk things about life. He had a way of keeping us connected. And one of the ways was players who stayed in New Orleans at Thanksgiving time, because some of us couldn't get back to the Midwest. He would have us over for dinner, and Sue and Coach made a beautiful dinner for us. Well, I'm not sure how much Coach helped, but they were both there, and we had a great time. UNO baseball gave me a lifelong friends and made connections with others as well. I remember my first NCAA win against Notre Dame. 29 years later, Bonnie and I are taking our daughter to St. Mary's of Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana. And I'm coming out of the room to grab a box, put back in, and the guy comes out of the dorm room on the other side of the hall. And we started talking a little bit, and he said, you know, my daughter's going to school here. My wife went here at St. Mary's. I went to Notre Dame. I got a degree in law, and I even played some baseball. And I looked at him, and he had a Notre Dame baseball shirt on. And so I thought, well, I'm going to ask. I said, did you travel with the team to New Orleans in 1974? I said, yeah, I did. He said, I was the captain of that year, and I batted leadoff. And I said, well, I pitched the second game of that two-game series. Did you bat leadoff? He said, I sure did. I said, I picked you off twice. So, conversation went downhill after that. I love being a part of the team that played their hearts out. And we did. You know, even though I gave up one game again, I gave up 17 singles on a 9-inning game against Eddie Stanky in South Alabama. And we kept fighting through the whole game. We never gave up. And we end up winning the game 14-12. And I gave up 12 earned runs in that game. You know, but we hung in there, you know, and some teams aren't going to. Eddie Stanky gave me a lot of bad looks when I was covering third base, you know, when runs were coming around. When we won the first game of the NCAA South Regional, we beat Alabama State on a Thursday night, and I pitched a complete game. As Friday went on, we ended up in the championship game on Saturday afternoon. Coach said, we got to beat Nichols twice in order to go to the College World Series. I said, well, I'll see what I can do, Coach. So I said, I'll try and pitch. I get out and warm up, and you know, I felt, yeah, I can go. But I said, you're going to have to put the best defense you've got behind me, because I'm going to make him hit the ball. And so I pitched all 10 innings in that game, and we beat Nichols State 2-1. Joey Bennett knocked in the tying run in the middle innings of the game, and my roommate Mike Key had a sacrifice fly in the 10th inning, and we beat him 2-1. We come back as we're pumped up, and we win 6-1 in the second game, and we get to make a trip to the Division II NCAA World Series. We get to that World Series, and we play terrific, and we end up runners-up to UC California at Irvine, and they were a very good team as well. No matter the statistics, the single year at UNO connected me with so many great people and inspired me to how to create a positive baseball experience for the players that I still coach. Even though I was only here at UNO for 1 year, it was a great year. Coach Maestri, teammates, and the UNO Nation, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the opportunities and the memories that will stay with me forever. Thank you.
Next up to honor, our next inductee is Wally Whitehurst. Wally has his name etched all over the Privateer baseball record book with 40 career complete games, first in program history, and 14 more than second place on that list. From 1983 to 85, he sported 37 wins and is one of 3 pitchers to throw more than 400 career innings in a Privateer uniform. An integral part of the College World Series team in 1984, Whitehurst struck out 122 batters and won 15 games that season. Whitehurst was drafted by the Oakland A's in the 3rd round of the 1985 draft, and he pitched in the major leagues from 1989 to 1996 between the Mets, Padres, and Yankees. Please welcome our newest inductee to the New Orleans Athletics Hall of Fame, Wally Whitehurst.
Thank you very much.
First off, I'd like to congratulate the other inductees from the 24 class and the 25 class, well-deserved. A lot of you haven't, same problem. A lot of you I haven't met before, but I've met a good many of you tonight. We had a magical run in 1984 for our College World Series team. And it all started with Mace, Schwan, Mike Campbell, Mark Dusing that kept us all available, Andre Desjardins, and Tim Jameson. But what was even more special, in that year, out of the starting 9 or 10 guys that we had that started, 7 were within 40 miles of the city of New Orleans. Johnny Groth played center field for us from Ohio. Mark Higgins, the fireman, was from Mobile, 80 miles away. So it was very special for all of us. Scott Raziano at third, Jimmy Bullinger at short, Kenny Benura, Mark Higgins at first, Kenny Wilson, DH, Pat Cummings, Scott Schwarner, Johnny Groth, and Stuart Weedeye. So it was, we were a tight-knit group. We really were. And you don't receive an award like this without good supporting cast. And Tommy Mitchell, I know he's here, he had a very good eraser. So he kept all of our stats and everything else. So, but coming back here brings out a lot of joy. I know Mace's hair was not quite as white until we all left in 1985. And he retired, by the way, in 85. But it is an honor to be here. 41 years ago, World Series, going from 145 pounds to 245 pounds is a big deal. But I'd like to thank Vincent, athletic director, everybody else. Dr. Pennegy is in the house. I probably wouldn't have gotten out of here if it wasn't for him. But I just say, thank you guys, go blue. We were the first Louisiana school to ever make it to Omaha, not the team in Baton Rouge. And not the other team on the other side of the city. But I'd like to thank Darlene, she's here, and a special thank to my 2 daughters, Rowan and Arden. They've been through a lot, and I'll cause most of that. But thank you guys. I do apologize. I'm actually on vacation, and I'll be heading out here in a little while, but I do appreciate this honor. Means a lot, and I will be back.
Our next inductee to the New Orleans Athletics Hall of Fame is former men's basketball student athlete Liddell Eccles. Liddell, yeah, round of applause. Liddell was a 2-time honorable mention All-American during his 2 seasons on the lakefront, and he was chosen as honorable mention All-American by the Associated Press following the 1986-87 season and by United Press International in the 87-88 season. He was also selected first team All-American South and named the Conference Player of the Year in 1988. Eccles earned NABC All-District honors in both those seasons as well as USBWA All-District recognition in 1988. The Louisiana Sports Writers Association named him All-Louisiana following both of his seasons on the lakefront, and he was named both Louisiana's Newcomer and Player of the Year in 1987. Liddell currently ranks 3rd in career scoring, average in school history at 23 points per game, and is tied for 6th all-time in points scored with 1,358. His 25 points against BYU in the NCAA tournament are the most scored by a privateer in the Big Dance. And he also holds the record for most free throws made in a season with 186. Liddell was the 36th overall pick by the Washington Bullets in 1988 and went on to play 441 NBA games between 1988 and 1998, scoring 4,783 career points. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Hall of Famer Liddell Eccles.
Well, I'm not going to take too much of y'all time, but I really appreciate it. I appreciate the board that selected us because, y'all didn't have to do it. I really appreciate that. And, the head basketball coach, I spoke with him a couple times, great guy, and I like the way he's leading the program in the right direction, like our coach Benedict was doing. They won a big game last week, so I'm proud of them. And Coach Maestri, look like everybody know you. You must have been here forever. But, man, I love you. My teammate, Ronnie Granderson, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. My dad ain't here, but I hope he looking down. And I tell him, hey, this all for you. And, I'm glad I'm in the Hall of Fame family of UNO. And as I always did, I tried to make UNO proud, and I'm going to continue doing it. Have a nice day.
Our next Hall of Fame inductee is former Administrator Mike Bujold. Bujold was in administration and served nearly 3 decades at the University of New Orleans. His career on the lakefront began in 1982 when he oversaw sports information, sales, and marketing. Starting in 1992, Bujold managed the athletic facilities for a decade, and in 2002, Bujold was promoted to Associate Director of Athletics. Following his retirement from UNO Athletics, he went on to become the Athletic Director of nearby Holy Cross High School in 2009. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Hall of Famer Mike Bujold.
Pardon the glasses. Wow. What an incredible honor tonight. Truly means a lot to be up here, especially alongside all the fellow inductees, people who played or I knew during my time at UNO. It feels a little like stepping back in time and a whole lot like coming home. Before I talk about my time at UNO, I'd like to start with my family. I was one of 6, and I'm lucky enough to have 3 of my siblings sitting back here tonight along with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law. Really appreciate you guys coming. It means a lot. My wife Dawn, my daughter Carly are here tonight. My son Bo, he's pursuing his dreams at the University of Illinois and couldn't make it. They've been my foundation through it all. They put up with long nights, late games, road trips, and more missed dinners and dance recitals that I'd hate to admit. All so I could do the work I loved. Their support made everything possible, and I've always been grateful for that. We all have a few dates that stick in our minds. Birthdays, anniversaries, the day your children were born. For me, I have 2 more. February 1st, 1982, the day I interviewed with Assistant Athletic Director Will Pennegy and Coach Maestri. July 1st, 1982, my first official day as Sports Information Director at the University of New Orleans. Back then, I never imagined that more than 25 plus years later, I'd still proudly be a privateer. And what a ride it's been. I was lucky enough to work and learn from some incredible people. Coach Maestri, the best boss, mentor, and friend anyone could ask for. He set the tone for everything that followed at this department. Chancellor Homer Hitt, our founding leader, was UNO's athletics' biggest supporter and a huge part of our success. There were countless others who made every day memorable. Polly Moses, Lois Kelly, and Jan Hooks kept our office running smoothly. Athletic trainer Mark Dusing and volleyball coach Judy Mogabgab who talked me into applying for this SID job in the first place over a few cold ones. And my longtime partner in crime, Mickey D, Mike Dauenhauer. More than 2 decades of laughter, long days, lots of lunches, and great stories. And then there were so many others I was lucky to work with. Kathy Keene, Ken Trahan, John Barranco, the list goes on and on. I also had the privilege of working with some of the best coaches around. Don Smith, Benny Dees, Joey Steibing, Tim Floyd, Tommy Joe Eagles, all great basketball coaches. Tom Schwanner, Randy Bush, Tom Walter, baseball's finest. The father of UNO track and field, Ken Leithman, and longtime cross-country coach Tim Bracey. Judy Mogabgab, Betsy Becker, and Ruben Herrera, good volleyball coaches. Golf coach Bob Brown, who brought a national championship to the University of New Orleans. Golf coaches Jimmy Hedrick and Chris McCarter. And lastly, already a Hall of Famer himself, Berzis Kanga, who not only coaches our men and women's tennis team now, but was an outstanding tennis player in his day. I've seen the highs of UNO athletics. Those glory years when it felt like the sky was the limit. And I've seen the tough times too, through Hurricanes Katrina and Rita and the long road of rebuilding. But through it all, one thing never changed: my pride in being a privateer. Tonight is humbling. Being inducted into the UNO Hall of Fame means more than I can express. This university, this program, and the people I've met here have shaped my life in ways that I carry with me every day and that I'll carry forever. Before I close, I want to give a very special thanks to my dear friend Jennifer Archibald, who nominated me. Jennifer bleeds silver and blue more than anyone in this room. Except, is Pierre here? Okay, except for Pierre, okay. And to the Hall of Fame Selection Committee, many of who I've known for years, thank you for this incredible honor. Your belief in me makes tonight even more meaningful. Thank you all for being here and for letting me be part of this legacy. Go Privateers.
Next up is our final Hall of Fame inductee from the class of 2024, Kristen O'Hearn of Privateer Volleyball. Kristen played in the Lakefront from 1992 to 1995 and is one of only 2 volleyball players in program history to earn all Louisiana honors at least 3 times. O'Hearn also made the Sun Belt All-Conference team in 1993 and 1995. And she's one of 4 Privateers in program history with at least 1,000 career kills and 1,000 career digs. O'Hearn had 532 kills in 1993, the 6th most in a single season in program history. And she also won a spot on 6 in-season all-tournament teams in her career. Kristen also ranks in the top 10 in career service aces with 147 in her time on the Lakefront. Kristen was unable to join us this year, but let's have a round of applause to celebrate the achievement of newest Hall of Fame member, Kristen O'Hearn of Privateer Volleyball. And now we begin the induction of the class of 2025, with first up, Kevin McGann of Privateer Baseball. Kevin played for the Privateers under Hall of Fame coach Ron Maestri from 1977 to 1980. And he remains one of the best hitters in school history and held the career hits record on the Lakefront for almost 42 years before it was broken in 2022. He finished his career with a .365 batting average, tied for 5th in program history, and remains the only Privateer to finish 2 separate seasons with a batting average over 400, .407 in 1979 and .417 in 1980. McGann and the Privateers won back-to-back Sun Belt Tournament championships in the first 2 years of the league's existence, and were also regular season champions in 1979. and his .417 batting average remains the Privateers' single-season record today. Please welcome to the stage Hall of Famer Kevin McGann.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'd like to start by thanking the committee for electing me into the UNO Hall of Fame. It's a great honor to be remembered after 45 years, let alone get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Thank you. I would also like to recognize tonight my two brothers, Bill and Mike, my sister Karen, and my brother-in-law Billy. They came from great distances to be here, and I really appreciate it. Growing up with siblings so close in age allowed us to share great experiences in various sports. But the one we played the most was baseball. Together we developed a true love and appreciation of the game. Our dad taught us how to play the game the right way. At an early age, we developed our hitting strokes by using a broomstick and a cork ball. We would draw a strike zone in the outside wall of a school building and start whacking the heck out of the makeshift baseball. I guess that was our form of graffiti back then. To be clear, I did not bring that practice with me to UNO. There was never a strike zone drawn on any campus buildings, at least not while I was here. I thoroughly enjoyed the experience that baseball presented to me over the years, especially at UNO. But for me, the blessings did not end on the diamond. I met my wife, Renee, here, and we've been blessed with two sons. Our youngest son, Casey, is here tonight. We are so proud of our sons because over the years, they have consistently lived their lives the right way. Casey and his beautiful wife, Shelby, have two children, Flora and James. I won't get started talking about our grandkids because we could be here all night. Next, I would like to thank Coach Maestri and Coach Schwanner. Without them, I would not be here tonight. First, Coach Maestri, thank you for taking a chance on a chunky kid from Central Illinois. You not only brought me to New Orleans, but allowed me to be in the starting lineup from day one. That experience was invaluable. I learned a lot from Coach Maestri, but it was his dedication and devotion to UNO baseball that stuck out the most. He recognized that baseball was not just a sport, it was entertainment. Watching him build the program was amazing. All you have to do is look at that baseball field, appropriately named Maestri Field. It was the gem of college baseball when it opened in 1979. And that would never have happened without his tireless dedication and devotion. It once was referred to as Maestri's Miracle on the Lakefront by WVUE television. But watching Coach Maestri made us realize that we play and watch baseball for entertainment. The best example I can give for that occurred early in my UNO career. During the game, the home plate umpire was calling a lot of very low strikes, and most of those calls were going against us. After one particular low strike, I looked at the coach in the third base box, and he was standing on his head. As the umpire walked towards the coach's box, Coach Maestri fell over and explains he was just trying to get a better look at those pitches. Coach threw in a few salty words to describe the reason for standing on his head. Needless to say, he was asked to leave the field. Right then, I realized baseball is largely about entertainment. I would also like to acknowledge Coach Schwanner. He was my position coach for 3 of my years at UNO. He taught us that with hard work, the game would be much easier. Coach would hit thousands of ground balls to us and all of his infielders, some hard, some soft, some right, some left. When it came to actually playing the game, fielding grounders was second nature because of how he prepared us. He also used a tool to help us refine our skills, the wooden glove. You strapped the wood board on your hand, and it forced you to use 2 hands when fielding ground balls and have soft hands. Coach Schwanner's hard work and dedication made us excel the best defensive team in the NCAA in 1979. and Manny was part of that group, that infield. Hard work does pay off. Thanks, Coach. Next, I would like to thank the hundreds of great teammates that I had the privilege of playing with in my 4 years at UNO. Baseball is a team game, and without them, this induction would not be possible tonight. We did not have a lot of stars when I played at UNO. Sure, we had Randy Bush, Augie Schmidt, Roger Erickson, but mostly we had a bunch of guys that knew how to play the game and wanted to get better every day. In closing, I think back over my career at UNO, trying to remember that one big hit, that one drive to drive in the winning run, or the special catch to end the game. But by far, my biggest catch at UNO happened in my freshman year. On April 15, 1977, when I was introduced to this pretty young lady named Renee. She became my wife 44 years ago. The great thing about meeting as a freshman was that it allowed us to spend 3 great years together on campus. UNO was a great university, and Renee and I were able to take full advantage of everything it had to offer. As a bonus, we were able to soak in everything this great city of New Orleans had to offer. Thanks, Renee. Finally, I would like to thank the UNO Hall of Fame committee for this great honor, and God bless UNO, and God bless UNO baseball. Thank you.
Ronnie Grandison. Ronnie's 2-season run on the lakefront had a lasting impact. The St. Bernard High School product still ranks in the top 10 in program history, in points per game at 16.9, rebounds per game at 9.7, offensive rebounds per game at 4.6, and that number is first in program history. He also ranks in the top 10 in career steals and steals per game. Ronnie was named Louisiana Newcomer of the Year in 1986 and earned All-Louisiana and NABC All-District status in both of his seasons on the lakefront. Grandison was named Chevron CBS Player of the Game following the program's NCAA tournament win over BYU in 1987 after scoring 15 points and pulling down 11 rebounds. Following his collegiate career, Ronnie was selected by the Denver Nuggets in the 1987 NBA draft and played in 105 NBA games between 1987 to 1996. Please welcome to the stage Privateer Hall of Famer, Ronnie Grandison.
Thank you. Gotta go way high. Well, I'm a techie, as you guys know. I wrote everything down because I'm a little long-winded at times. So I just want to say thanks to Vince and his staff and everybody involved with this. It's an honor to be here, and I just want to say congratulations to all the other inductees. And I appreciate you guys giving me this chance to speak to you. I'm going to kind of direct it toward my family because they've been everything to me. So first I want to express my deep gratitude to Jesus Christ because he's my Lord and Savior, and for allowing me to play this incredible game. He is the reason I stand here today, accepting this honor, and I dedicate all to him for his glory. Next, I want to thank my wife, Barb. She's been wonderful to me, and I would also like to thank my children. I have 5 children. My daughter Bailey and my daughter Ronnie is here with me today, and my daughter Naomi, my son Elisha, and Eliana for the unwavering love and support through my journey. And you all mean the world to me, and I love you dearly. I also want to acknowledge my NOLA family for welcoming me with open arms. To my Auntie Pat and my Uncle Chip, my Auntie Sue, who's here with me tonight, and Uncle Willis, my Uncle Thomas, who's here with me tonight too, and my Uncle Walden. Thank you for treating me like your own and caring for me when I arrived in this wonderful place. To my cousins, Jody, and to Bridget, and to Jason, who's with us too tonight, and Barrett, I want to thank you guys for embracing me and treating me like a big brother when I came in. You spent so much time with me. You guys all came to my games. You cheered me on. You did everything that family does to make me feel right at home, and I do feel at home here. I'm grateful to the University of New Orleans for bringing in an exceptional coach, Benny Dees. Benny was the first coach that really showed me that he cared. I had a lot of coaches in my life, and Benny was the first one that really looked out for me, and I was so thankful for him. He did it at a time when didn't know what was going to happen. Tulane had dropped the program and had no idea what was going to happen to my eligibility, anything like that. And Benny came in and he gave me a home. So I just want to thank him for all that he did. He believed in me and he helped us to achieve remarkable milestones here at UNO. To my teammates, man, it was a tremendous battling with you guys and playing with you guys. And I just want to say, none of this would be possible without you. Together, we celebrated our first NC2A Division I tournament appearance, and we lost in the second round to Alabama, boo. But they didn't mention to you in that game against Brigham Young we won, I was in foul trouble, and I was sitting on the bench just sweating bricks because I'm like, here I am in foul trouble in this game, and I think we're going to lose, but we pulled it off. So thank you for that. We also had a chance to be ranked 16th in the nation, and that was really special. And then we even defeated LSU at LSU in their home tournament. So, Coach, you got a big task coming up here on Monday, right? We got to get them. All right, so all this, man, it was, competing alongside you all has been an unforgettable experience. I also want to give a shout out to Ron Maestri and the University Administration for making UNO a destination for greatness. I appreciate all the hard work and effort you've done, and I appreciate what you guys are doing with this Hall of Fame deal. This is really special. And finally, I need to thank three people who made me who I am today. My sister, my brother, and most importantly, my mom. To my sister, when Dad left, and Mom was working day and night, you stepped up. At a young age, you made sure I was fed, disciplined, and cared for. You watched out for me so I could chase my dreams. Your strength, intelligence, and humor shaped me more than you know. And then to my brother, even though I tower over you, I will always be your little brother. I was the youngest, so. Every backyard game we played, every loss that made me cry, yeah, and I did say cry, taught me resilience. Our rivalry pushed me harder than any coach ever could. Your wisdom, steadiness, listening skills has been my compass. I look up both to you, my brother and sister, even though I'm taller, and I'm blessed to have you in my life. And last, I want to thank my mom. And Mom, I don't know where I even start. You raised 3 kids alone in LA, worked tirelessly just to keep us fed. You drove me to every practice, every game, never doubting my dream. Even when I carved in the house, Ronnie the Pro, I used a saber saw to do that. I received several whippings in my house, but I didn't get a whipping for that one. You probably didn't want me to be discouraged because I was the dreamer. You supported me through the ups and downs. I do not remember you ever getting on me when I didn't play well. I do remember you telling me what your father told you, Grandpa Willie. If you're going to be a plaster, be a damn good one. You had high standards, Mom, and you had high expectations. You didn't force me into anything, but you always told me to give my best. I appreciate you putting up with me and being tough on me. You never let me make excuses. When I wanted to quit at UC Irvine, that's the school I went to the first 2 years, I was brain dead. But the coach wasn't playing me, and you listened to me to complain for weeks. One night after a game, you finally had enough of the whining and said, then quit and stop talking about it. That statement shocked me because I knew that is not what you taught me. Through your incredible wisdom, that tough love was exactly what I needed. It forced me to dig deeper, and that is why I'm standing here today. Mom, I wish you could be here tonight, but I know you're watching. Every day you went without, and so that we can have, every hard lesson you had to teach, even though you didn't want to, every ounce of love you poured into us, it all led to this moment. And I cannot express how much I love you for this. And everyone listening, thank you for letting me share what my family truly means. I appreciate this honor, and thank you very much, guys.
Our next Hall of Fame honoree from Privateer men's basketball is Dwayne Riebel. Dwayne was one of the university's first star student athletes, as he played in 42 games between 1969 to 1971 in the program's first seasons of competition. He ranks first in program history with 7.3 assists per game and 8th with 307 career assists. His 8 assists per game during the 1969-70 season remained the best single-season passing mark in school history. Dwayne captained the 1970-71 Privateers to a 23-3 record, the NCAA Division II South Regional, and a #1 ranking to end the season. And they compiled a 41-8 record, did the Privateers, during his 2 seasons on the lakefront. Dwayne was also an assistant coach at the university from 1982 to 1985, and helped the Privateers pick up 48 wins and an NIT berth in the 1983 season during his time on the bench. Please come to the stage and let's welcome Hall of Famer Dwayne Riebel.
Thank you, thank you. I pulled it down. It's the story of my life. Again, like everyone else, thank the selection committee. Having been in college coaching for years, to me, one of the premier awards you can get is to be recognized as one of the top players at your university and to go into the Hall of Fame. So to all of you inductees, congratulations, and I'm very, very proud to be here and to share this honor with you guys. I know there are 4 or 5 players on my team that I played on that deserve to be in here as well, and probably before me, but I don't want to tell the selection committee that. It's been a thrill, and in many ways it kind of caps my career. I've been, 77 years, and I think we've been playing since I've been 6 or 7. So 70 years of basketball has been just a joy, and it really started for real when I came here to the University of New Orleans, and my teammates that I had and coaches, and we just took off. Everything was just set for us to have success, and all I had to do was pass the ball to some really good players, and they made baskets. So the assists were easy. The assists came easy. I had, whenever we receive something like this, an award like this, we have to reflect back on, okay, who helped us to get here? And my teammates were spectacular, and I think I have 3 of those guys here. Ronnie Cornick in the back. Ronnie. And Dennis Lejeune. Now, Ronnie asked me not to tell any stories that might be self-incriminating. So, Ronnie, I'll adhere to that. And I will mention that Dennis, at 77 years old, still plays twice a week. So, but I also have heard that he hasn't lost a step. So you can kind of figure that one out. But they were great guys. And Dave Schaller is here. Dave came in from Florida to be with us. Dave, are you someplace? There we are. Dave was on our 69-70 and 70-71 team, and he was our zone breaker. If teams went into his zone, Schaller went in and they got out of the zone and Schaller came out. And we waited for him to go back in. And they developed the reputation of being a super sub and was, again, we were fortunate to have a wonderful group of guys, some really great players, Butch Webster and Melvin Henderson, Hawk Hamilton, and one of my favorite people of all time, Johnny Pons. He was kind of the glue to our team. He just did all the little things. At that time, trash talking was really coming in, and this really, to me, describes Johnny. Everybody, when they make a shot, it's like in your face, take that. Johnny would say, "Excuse me." And that was Johnny. He was just a fantastic guy, a wonderful person. And so, I was fortunate to have those guys. We talk about our family and how important our family is to our development. I don't think nobody has an impact on our lives more than our siblings. I got a story for you. We got 10 of us. I've got 9 brothers and sisters. And my mother had all 10 of us within 13 years. So we didn't recognize her if she wasn't pregnant. And she was fabulous. She was fantastic. My dad was great. We're all about, I think I might be the tallest in the family. So, we had some things to work on. But my dad was always trying to build us up and telling us, come on, man. Where there's a will, there's a way. You can do it. You can do it. It's not the size that makes the man. It's the man that makes the size. All those good little cliches. And he was just a special guy. He would tell us, dynamite comes in small packages. And there's my mother over there. So does poison. So she kept us grounded, kept us humble. And she was spectacular. She just died a couple of years ago. So if you want to live to be 98 years old, have 13 kids or 10 kids in 13 years. Because and don't ask me how she did it, but she was well and thriving up until the last days. A wonderful lady. My story here at UNO started with a phone call. We go through life and we make some decisions, and we don't realize the impact of a simple, insignificant decision. I had a high school teammate call me in late July, early August of 1968. And he said, "Dwayne, we need a fifth. We're planning a summer league game out at LSUNO." And I said, "Do they have a gym out there?" And he said, yeah, it's an old barracks. It was Leroy Johnson. So barracks just right here in the parking lot, right, I guess the north parking lot. And I said, I don't know, let me think about it. And after a few minutes, I decided to go play. We played the game. I'm walking out of the gym, and this guy, he's kind of big guy, a little overweight, but he's dapper. He's got his platform shoes on and his red tie, and Ron Green. Walks up to me and says, "Dwayne," he said, "I've just been named the basketball coach and the athletic director here at UNO, and I'd like to talk to you about a scholarship." Well, nobody ever recruited me. I had planned on walking on at Loyola for Coach Kevin Trower. Kevin was a high school coach here in the city for a while, and then our teams played against him when I was in high school, and he was now the head coach at Loyola. So I called him and asked him, "Can I try out for the team?" He said, "Well, I don't have any scholarships, but you can maybe walk on." So I was all enrolled, ready to go to Loyola when Coach Green offered me a scholarship, and I said, "Well, what does that entail?" And he said, the first year we don't have dorms on campus. We can cover your tuition and your books and your fees. It's about $150. It's not quite the NIL that we're missing out on today. But it was a thrill for me, and I jumped on the opportunity, and it propelled me into coaching. It propelled me into a style of play that I embraced, and I was just at the right place at the right time because of a insignificant decision to decide to go play basketball with a high school teammate. So I was blessed with that, and thankful for that. And as I mentioned, we played at Leroy Johnson. And Leroy Johnson, Coach, you remember Leroy Johnson with the windows were knocked out and some holes in the walls you could see through. It got cold in the wintertime, so you didn't practice in practice shorts or a sleeveless shirt. We had sweatpants, and we had a very, very thick T-shirt. It was reversible, blue on one side, white on the other, but it was a T-shirt, and it had lakefront. It had LSUNO on it. And so I'm going to ask one of my little guys, Tucker. This is my 10-year-old. If he'll bring it up. So this is 57 years old, and he usually wears it. Huh, Tuck? Well, but does that bring back memories? So, again, this is a thrill of a lifetime. It truly is. And as I said, it kind of caps my career as a player, as a coach. And I thank the selection committee. You have a lot of other choices that you could have made, but I'm glad you made this one. Thank you.
Our next Hall of Fame honoree from Privateer Women's Basketball is Jenny Anderson. Yes. Jenny played for the Privateers from 1995 to 1999 and became one of the most prolific scorers in program history. At the time her collegiate career finished, Anderson was third in career points with 1,441. She also has the distinction of carrying the highest career three-point field goal percentage after making 37.5% of her career three-point attempts. And she also ranks 6th in three-pointers made for her career at 123. Anderson also ranks in the top 5 in career rebounds with 760 and steals with 189. Jenny was a 2-time first-team All-Sun Belt selection in back-to-back seasons in 1997 and 1998. And she's also one of 4 student athletes in program history to make the All-Louisiana team in 3 seasons. She also made 2 in-season tournament teams in her time in the Lakefront, the UNO Hoops Classic All-Tournament team in 1998, and the Mid-America Classic team, which was hosted in Columbia, Missouri in 1997. Jenny finished her career averaging 13 points and 6.9 rebounds per game, while she logged over 3,500 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, New Orleans Athletics Hall of Famer from Privateers Women's Basketball, Jenny Anderson.
You get stats like that when you never see a shot you don't like. That's what, wow, I don't think my heart was beating this fast when we beat Louisiana Tech when they were number 4 in the nation. I'm much more comfortable doing Pete Maravich ball handling drills and 3-man weave than I am giving a speech, but what an incredible honor. And more than incredible, it's a little bit improbable. I like to say I was raised in Springfield, Missouri, but I grew up in New Orleans. My hometown of Springfield is known for 3 things: Bass Pro Shops, Springfield-style cashew chicken, and Andy's frozen custard. And so let's take a little trip back to the 1900s for all the little ones in the room, to 1995, the summer before my freshman year at UNO. Up until that summer, I played basketball all summer long. While my friends were at the lake and lounging, I was in the gym, working and trying to fight for the dream of being a Division I college basketball player. Once Coach Babb offered me a scholarship to the University of New Orleans, I thought the work was done. I took that summer and I laid on the dock and I ate Andy's frozen custard and cashew chicken all summer. And I lived the big easy life before I got here in August. When I came to UNO my freshman year, I was probably 25 pounds heavier than when my signature secured my scholarship. So, I want to think back to Coach Fab. He had a term of endearment for us when we looked like we were playing in slow motion. He would call us mud turtles. And I can't confirm this, but I think I might have been the muse for that term when I showed up my freshman year. So, my parents kissed me goodbye. They dropped me off at UNO, and they didn't see me for 3 months. No FaceTime, just phone calls. So when they came back for our first tournament in November, my mom and daddy, they took their seats in Lakefront Arena and excitedly watching as we come out of the tunnel for pregame warm-ups. And they're watching, and they're looking, and they turn and say, "Do you see her? I don't see her." So they finally opened the media guide and found my number. The program, my coaches, the preseason conditioning, and the New Orleans heat and humidity had transformed me so much that my parents did not even recognize me. So UNO has transformed me in so many ways. And I can't tell you what a special part of my life my 4 years here at UNO have been. But I think, as everyone said, none of us would be up here without some giants in our lives whose shoulders we're standing on. And the first giants in my life are my parents, Jim and Marta Anderson. We lost my daddy in 22, and y'all, he would have loved this. He loved the city. He loved basketball. He really loved girls basketball. And to have a father admire and encourage you the way my daddy did was just something that I know is the reason I achieved anything in the sport, is to have a father like that. And then my mom is here with us, Saint Marta, the great lifter of souls. When basketball would bring frustration and defeat, my mom kept everything in its proper place. She was the encourager. She was joy-filled. Keyshawn, my teammate back there, she can attest when we were sitting around after a game and going, "Oh, I missed that wide open layup," or "How did I?" My mother would say, "But your hair looks so cute." She could bring us up, even if we bricked every layup we had, but our hair looks so cute. So thank you, Mom, for keeping everything in a positive light. She always brought me up to the divine, to Jesus. And then lastly, the last giant are my coaches, notably Coach Joey Favaloro. He was the one who signed me. And Coach Fab had a lot of gifts, but I think his most unique gift was his ability to create unity without conformity. He delighted in our differences. I got to play with teammates from all over the country and all over the globe. And he was a proud New Orleanian, but he created an atmosphere where we could all thrive and excel at our highest. So this induction is as much his as it is mine. And and last, I could go on and on about all the opportunities this education and being a student athlete at UNO brought me, but one really important one, I wouldn't have met my husband, Philip. He's back there. We've been married 21 years because my first job after UNO was at Chipola Junior College. He was an assistant baseball coach, and the rest is history. And we share a 13-year-old son, John, who's with me tonight. I don't know where he is, but he's our greatest achievement. John is our world. So I just, with deep gratitude, thank you so much. UNO is my heart, and I loved growing up here. Thank you all so much.
To round out the 2025 Hall of Fame class, from men's golf is Jose Toledo. Jose's name is synonymous with privateer golf. Over 3 seasons, Toledo compiled the lowest career stroke average in school history. He also owns the best single-season stroke average in program history after finishing at 71.2 following the 2007-2008 season. His 54-hole score of 205 at the 2007 Troy Invitational is tied for the lowest 3-round score in school history, and his 39 career rounds below par are the most in school history as well. Jose won the 2007 Samford Intercollegiate and the 2007 Troy Invitational, and he owns the most top 5 finishes at 11, most top 10 finishes at 19, as well as the second most top 20 finishes at 23 in program history. The 2-time All-Sun Belt selection qualified for the 2007-2008 NCAA Regional as an individual, becoming the first privateer golfer during the Division I era to do so. A 3-time All-Louisiana selection, Toledo was also named both the Louisiana Newcomer of the Year and Player of the Year following the 2006-2007 season. Jose was unable to be here tonight as he's playing in a tournament in Singapore, but accepting on his behalf is his wife, Laura. Let's give a round of applause to Jose Toledo.
Thank you. All right. Thanks. Good evening, everyone. I will start by saying, if you catch a strong accent, you are not imagining it. But tonight, I am very proud to share my husband's story and celebrate this amazing honor with all of you. Oof. This is him, not me, okay? The first time I was invited for a campus visit with Coach Chris McCarter, it was the semester that UNO reopened after Hurricane Katrina. I still remember Coach's hope of the city, his determination to rebuild and to create something special. That spirit inspired me immediately. I decided right then that I wanted to be part of his new beginning, to grow both as a golfer and as a person alongside a team that had already overcome so much. Never could I imagine that one day I will receive this incredible honor. When the athletic director called me a few months ago with the news that I had been inducted into the University of New Orleans Hall of Fame, I was truly humbled. I'm assuming. Sorry. This award means so much to me, to my family, and to my home country, Guatemala. I wish I could be there with you tonight, but I am currently in Singapore preparing to compete this week. Even from across the world, my heart is full of excitement and gratitude as I remember the unforgettable years and lifelong memories I shared at UNO. There are so many people I want to thank because this journey has been long, full of lessons, and made possible by incredible support. First and foremost, I thank God, who laid out the perfect path for me. Looking back, I wouldn't change a thing. His plans has always been right, and my faith in him has shaped the person I am today. To my number one fan, my dad, Luis, who is watching from heaven tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You were there since day one, cheering for every shot. I still remember sitting with you outside our house, both of us deciding that I should go to the United States to play college golf. Choosing New Orleans was the best decision we ever made. None of it would have been possible without the incredible love and sacrifice of my mom and siblings. Thank you for believing in me. A huge thanks for my coach, Chris McCarter, my forever favorite coach and friend. You believed in me from the start and opened the doors for me to receive a great business education at UNO. I will never forget those long bus rides to tournaments, the love, the stories, the moments that shape us. You also encouraged me to take one of the biggest steps in my life, turning professional after graduation. 15 years later, I am still competing at one of the highest levels of golf. And that all began here at UNO. That decision changed my life. Golf has taken me to over 50 countries, allowed me to experience new cultures, and given me friends all around the world. And in one of those tournaments, God placed the love of my life in my path. Me, my beautiful wife, Laurita Linda. Laurita, thank you for being my greatest teammate, for believing in me, leaving your home country so I could pursue my dream, for your constant support, and for taking care of our beautiful children when I am away. I couldn't have done this without you. To my teammates, thank you for the amazing memories we built together. It was incredible. We came from all over the world: Sweden, Canada, Colombia, Denmark, Guatemala, and the United States. Yet, we became brothers both on and off the course. Even today, though our paths have taken us in different directions, we'll still keep in touch. And that bond is something truly special. Being part of the University of New Orleans family has been one of the greatest blessings of my life. This Hall of Fame honor is not just mine. It belongs to everyone who believed in me and helped me along the way. Thank you, UNO, for giving me a home, an education, and memories that will last a lifetime. Go Privateers!
One more time, let's have a round of applause for our newest members, the class of 2024 and 2025 of the University of New Orleans Athletics Hall of Fame. You know, as somebody who works in the communications department, you see the numbers, you see the accolades, you see the achievements of all these wonderful people who have built the history of UNO athletics. But what I love most is hearing the stories. Thank you so much for sharing just a small part of your journeys here that go beyond the contributions and the numbers that we see in record books. I'd also like to thank a couple of other people here tonight. Our Associate Athletic Director for Special Events, Ms. J.P. Lucius, who organized this event tonight. And we'd like to close with some remarks from our Interim Athletic Director, Mr. Vince Granito.
I will be very brief. First of all, I just want to thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope you had a wonderful time. You're right. It's all about the journey, isn't it? It's all about the stories. I want to thank and congratulate the 10 inductees tonight. We're so proud of you and can't wait for you to join us again in another year and another time. With that, all I would like to do is thank our Hall of Fame committee. These are the folks who work hard every year to take the nominations and to bring these outstanding folks to us for the Hall of Fame. I'd like to thank Ro Brown, Ed Castier, longtime Media Relations Director here also, Kathy Keene, Doug Mouton, Will Pennegy, Jason Plotkin, Ken Trahan, Mike Bujel, Chip Merritt, and Manny Pepis. I'd also like to thank tonight Robert O'Shields for videoing tonight, as video will be on our website, and you can relive it or download it so you have it for your own. And I'd like to also thank Helen Baumgartner for being our photographer tonight. Thank you. I hope you feel the love in the room that I did tonight and the passion for these great people. I hope you have a wonderful evening and a great weekend here on campus with homecoming, and we hope to see you all back another time really soon. Thank you all. Appreciate it.